What's the plan with Tucker as you get him eased back? Well, I assume you're getting him eased back into things. What's the plan with him coming back?
It'll be all individual, no team.
You have to bring him back slow, kind of like Zach in a way?
Yeah, I think that's usually the best course of action. So we got a good plan for him. It's just good to get him out there in a helmet.
Could Zach possibly play in the game?
No.
Going to play on Saturday?
Yes.
How much would you like to see Jordan play as a whole this preseason, or is that a week-by-week decision?
Yeah, I think we'll just take it, a day at a time and one game at a time and decide what he needs. But we have a plan in place right now, but just subject to change.
Pretty definitive on him playing. How long have you known that? And this has been the plan all along?
Yeah, I think just going through, kind of reevaluating the last couple of years when we've had guys not play, and then last year having all the guys play, I thought it was beneficial for us early on, especially week one, just to kind of knock some of the rust off. I think there's a lot of value of going through just getting your mind ready to get ready to play a football game. Obviously we're going to be smart with those guys. The last thing we want to do is put guys at risk. I mean, there's an inherent risk, right, every time you go out on the field, but we'll be smart with them. But at the same time, I do think just the preparation of getting ready for a game is invaluable, and why not use those opportunities? We have 3 different kick times, so they kind of get the feel of the rhythm of what they need to do to get ready for, I think our first game, what is that, 4:30 or whatever? Then Denver will be a night game, and then the final home game here versus Baltimore, having that noon kick, which the majority of our games are, for the first half of the season, minus week 1.
Safe to assume then with Jordan playing, your starters on offense and defense will also be out there?
Yeah, and some guys could be a little bit more limited than others, and that's just a conversation that we have. And certainly if we got guys that would normally play in a game that might be fighting through something, we'll be a little bit more cautious with those guys. But ideally we'll have everybody getting padded up, and then just depending upon how much they play is the real question.
Told us last week that he didn't know if he was going to be playing in this game. He said he wanted to. Do you have any update on him?
I don't. That's an example of a guy that not quite sure yet.
Getting back to Tucker for a second, he talked in the offseason about wanting to become like the best run blocking tight end in the league among his other goals. Missing all this time at the start, is that a big setback for him to get to where he wants to be?
I think it's definitely an obstacle. It's definitely a challenge, but I think he's ready to meet that challenge head on. I mean, this guy is, from the time he's gotten here to right now, I mean, he's never shied away from work, and I know he'll do everything in his power to become the best player that he can become.
Yesterday we saw the release of your first unofficial depth chart. How much input did you have into it, and how much of it was a Waller's production?
It's a Waller's production. So he tried to show it to me. I think I glanced at it for 2 seconds, and then I gave it back to him. Sure, whatever. It really doesn't matter to me right now. I mean, we haven't even played a game. So, and like I told the squad, it's like it's ever evolving. I don't care. You can never rest and feel comfortable with where you are. There's hopefully we have enough competition at each position. Obviously, there's some no-brainers out there. Jordan Love is not going to be losing the spot anytime soon for everybody. But there's a handful of positions that it's going to be competitive throughout the course of the season.
Matt, what kind of growth have you seen from Caleb Jones, just the 2 years he's been here now and now going into his 3rd camp?
Caleb's a pretty cool story just in terms of what he did to get himself into shape and to, losing a bunch of weight. And, he's a guy that I think has grown a lot. I think that, we want to see more consistency like we do with almost every player out there. But, he's in a competitive situation right now. And so I'm excited to see what happens and what transpires over the course of the next 3 weeks.
Will he get more opportunities with the first unit? We saw him out there Saturday or family night, just for a limited amount of reps. Will he get more of those opportunities?
I think it's, every day could change. So right now we're trying to figure out especially more so with who's going to be that third tackle. I mean, that's a heck of a competition right now.
Did Christian Watson come out okay? Out of the
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Matt, when it comes to rookies, what do you look for in the unofficial first game of their NFL career? Just kind of the basic goals or basic things
I mean, you'd like to see whatever they're doing to prepare for that game. The game doesn't change, and it was interesting. I think the family night's so invaluable to get them in an environment where there's a lot of fans. It feels different. Everything's heightened. I think their anxieties go up a little bit, and so you want them to be able to take what they're doing in practice and apply it to the game, and not go out there and do something that they don't practice before, which is many times the case. I think it's just human nature. Guys sometimes will freak out when they get into those environments. So just to, do what they've been doing in practice all the time, and hopefully get a chance to watch them to compete and control the things that are within their control in terms of the effort that they play with, the physicality. So that's kind of what we're looking for.
You released Eason yesterday. Is that to give Pratt more opportunities, and what have you thought of Michael and his semi?
Yeah, I think, and I've said it a million times, it's hard to rep 4 quarterbacks. It limits everybody, and I'm appreciative of Jake coming in here and competing, and he did a lot of good things. But at the end of the day, I think it's more important to really focus and try to get a guy like a Pratt in this instance more reps and hopefully that can translate to success in the games.
What did you think of his work on family night? It seemed like he was unafraid to push the ball down the field.
Who? Yeah, I mean, he shows it in practice too. He's not afraid to do that. And just like I said with a lot of these guys, just trying to get a little bit more consistent. I mean, I think as that position, and just naturally, there's a lot of information getting pushed at you. And it's how you handle that, and then go out there and try to execute each individual play. I mean, we're not holding anything back with our playbook. It's a girthy playbook, especially in the preseason. It starts to get pared down when we get into more of the game situations. The call sheet shrinks substantially. So I think that'll be good for all our guys.
You gonna watch the Bears on Hard Knocks tonight?
Probably not. Just give me the Cliff Notes.